Folks, how we doing? Welcome to Good Works Tractors. I think this one's gonna help you make some decisions. We are looking at one of our most popular products here, the CMP Dethatcher lineup. This is the first time we've ever shown the complete lineup all in one video. You're gonna notice they are all 60 inches wide, all right, but we have a standard duty 3-point mount. You can go right on your 3-point hitch, category 1, or you can put it on a quick hitch, just like our Fast Cat 1. You have the heavy duty Dethatcher, which is basically, if you think about two Dethatchers, two standard duties put together, reinforced, that's what you have here. And then next to it, we're gonna have our front mount zero turn Dethatcher, all right? So this is gonna be obviously in the front of a zero turn versus the back of a tractor. You're also gonna have gauge wheels that are on here that help it from getting too aggressive and just kind of riding down or wanting to sink down into the ground as you drive forward. Not really needed with a 3-point, you just use your control there to raise and lower as needed. Folks, we are proud to be sponsored by RimGuard Solutions, a liquid ballast weight. It goes right inside your tires, completely hidden. Not only is it gonna help with safety, keeping those rear tires planted on the ground, it helps with loader efficiency and traction too. The benefits of RimGuard include being the heaviest all-natural liquid ballast weight on the market. It's not gonna corrode your rims like the old calcium chloride. It's not gonna freeze, and it's available at over 1,000 dealers nationwide. Find the dealer near you at rimguardsolutions.com. Okay, so the one thing missing here in this rake comparison is a landscape rake, and we've actually done a whole separate video comparing a Dethatcher rake versus a landscape rake. So we'll put a link somewhere so you can check that out if you want to. That's a whole different concept. So here we're focusing on the Dethatcher rake, and I'm going to stop right there because Dethatcher is, in my mind, a misnomer. And while it is actually very good at dethatching a lawn, it is far from the only thing that this rake can do, and it's more like a Versa rake. You know, I love versatile tools. That's kind of what my business is focused around, is finding those tools that give you the most bang for the buck, that you can use for multiple purposes, multiple applications, maybe even those that you don't have right now, but maybe you will in the future. So that's what these rakes do. You're standing on a gravel driveway that we have maintained from Tine. We use other tools as well to test them out, but we can use a Dethatcher rake to maintain a gravel driveway. It's not gonna take out big potholes, all right, but if you have just lighter regrading to do, if you're just coming out doing kind of maintenance work on a monthly or every other month basis, keep things fresh, maybe get those little weeds and grasses that start to appear before they get well rooted and just kind of rip them out. This is great for that kind of work. Trail maintenance, leaf pickup in the spring and in the fall, incredible job at that. Storm cleanup as well with all those smaller little branches that are a pain to just bend over or rake up by hand. You can use that rake, one of these rakes here, to get that job done as well. If you're scarifying, you know, or if you're re-landscaping and you want to put seed down, we did that in a project up at the front of our property here, where the final step before seeding is you use one of these Dethatcher rakes here and you smooth it all out, you put your seed down and you run over it again to kind of cover that seed up nicely so it can germinate. And even actually when we did our lawn renovation, while it became the final step, it actually, after we rototilled and worked up all of that old sod and weeds and all the other junk that was up there, it helped to smooth everything out, pull out all of that debris that was in there, as well as do that final prep for the seeding. So again, more like a Versa rake, even though it is called a Dethatcher. Don't let that name fool you. Let's talk about the standard duty first, which is the OG. It's the original one that was out there before the other models came along, and let me be honest, I didn't think it could get any better than this one at the time, because it did everything I just talked about so well. It was a great value. I mean, these things are at a great price point. One of the cheapest, that's a bad word, least expensive tractor tools that you can buy. Now, I will mention one difference between one of these rakes versus a landscape rake, is that you're gonna have a lot heavier steel, like a steel structure, a steel frame on a landscape rake versus the Dethatcher. And the reason for that is that this is designed or intended to be light enough to ride along the top of your lawn without causing significant damage. And if it was really heavy with a big robust frame, well, it wouldn't be able to do that. It would just tear up your turf really badly and defeat the purpose. So that said, if you back this thing into a tree trunk or a fence post that's on the edge of your property, you're likely going to bend this tube frame here. And that's not an issue with the design. You just got to make sure you don't run into stuff. All right, so that's just the intent. If it was heavier, it would it would be less effective at doing the job it's designed to do. Okay, so these are made in America, and CMP has actually introduced a product improvement on their structure just this year, where this whole rod here used to be one piece, all right, and now it's split into two. And so the reason for that is twofold. It helps keep the box smaller for shipping purposes. These ship UPS ground. All of these styles here ship UPS ground right to you, so that's great. There's no need for scheduling with a freight driver or anything like that. You don't even have to be home for these to get dropped off. But the other thing it's going to open up is the ability to start doing longer or wider dethatchers in the future at some point. So once they get ramped up to do that, I don't know when it's going to be. Maybe by the time this video comes out it happens, or just check the website, because we'll keep it updated and you'll know when we know. All right, so moving on to the heavy duty dethatcher. And again, I didn't think it could get any better, and I kind of scratched my head when CMP told me about this one, and then I actually used it and I was like, holy smokes, I love it. So now this is my favorite dethatcher. It's just, well, it leaves less debris behind, right? You know, you have two more rows to catch more stuff. So, you know, think about just raking, right? Raking along, you always have stuff that gets between the tines, and so you go back and rake again. And so having two extra rows of tines here just catches more stuff, right? So it just requires, you know, fewer passes to completely clean up the job that you're doing, or get the job done, depending, you know, I'm thinking about leaves and sticks right now when I talk about that. But again, even on the gravel driveway, you know, and again, it's still not going to take care of potholes, you know, and resurface those. I mean, I suppose if you drove over it maybe 15, 20 times, it would fill it in and grade it out. So technically, maybe if you wanted to spend all day doing it, but it's going to give you a bit of a deeper grade. So it's going to be a little bit more aggressive on the gravel and grade that out a little bit better for you, while it's still plenty light enough to take care of the needs on your lawn. Again, whether that's, you know, if you're going to handle or use one of these tools in the fall, maybe it's before you put down seed in the fall, right? That's when you want to dethatch, because it dethatches and scarifies at the same time. Then you can put your seed down, get that great seed to soil contact too. So, you know, this is something that can be used in spring, summer, and fall. I haven't found a use yet to use it in wintertime. Maybe scratching up ice. I don't know. If we ever had a lot of ice around here, I'd give that a shot too. It could be effective at roughing that up and making it a little bit less slippery. But anyway, once I had a chance to use it, it became my favorite. Now my brother behind the camera there shared his opinion that he still thinks the standard duty is his favorite. And sometimes I think he does things just to be opposite of whatever I like. So take that for what you will. If you own a tractor, I'm gonna make your life easier in about 30 seconds and tell you about the PTO link. With a male and a female side, it's super easy to figure out. Hook it up to your output shaft, hook it up to your attachment, give it a slight twist, and you're ready to go. It's also going to add about 5 inches of length to your PTO shaft. So a lot of us, we add on a quick hitch, the shaft becomes too short. Well, this fixes that problem too. Now for those really heavy, awkward attachments, they have a new product out, the spanner wrench called PTO Align. You can see those angles that are adjusted just right to reach back in there, grab onto that shaft, and twist it where you need it to go. Now, of course, these products are all made in the USA, and best yet, you can save 5% off your order with code GWT at tractorptolink.com. Okay, and lastly, we are looking at I'm just gonna rest my arm on the rhino hide canopy. Notice how good that canopy looks on this zero turn? Just makes it look complete, doesn't it? You can get yourself one at tractorcanopy.com. It's virtually indestructible, made in America, and free shipping right to your door. Anyways, I digress. So this is the front mount dethatcher, obviously mounted right on a zero turn. Use this bar here. Well, let me hop on. I'll show you. You just use the bar to raise and lower this bad boy. Up and down. And it's kind of, you know, clamped onto the front wheels of the zero turn as well. Just let it down just like that, okay? And you have different mounting positions. So we actually put this in the lowest position. That's gonna make it the most aggressive, and probably there's also some adjustment to compensate for different ride heights, different machines that are out there as well that are gonna have some fluctuation in it. You can adjust those wheels in and out. There's, you know, you can tell. You have adjustments, you can play around with it if you want to, or you can just let it sit just like this. We did try to, I had a pile of gravel that I accidentally scraped up pretty good when I was moving something around and it sat there for, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, something like that, a good amount of time. I wanted to see if this would tackle that job and push all of that gravel back into place. I do think that the 3-point version would have, but the front mount here with those gauge wheels, which are kind of preventing it from really digging down in, it didn't work well. So, you know, you're not going to do super heavy grading with this, so don't try to get one of these and think that that's what's going to happen. But again, for the yards, you know, obviously if you have zero turn, you're taking care of a yard. So dethatching, leaves, all that kind of stuff, this is a huge deal right here. I mean, if all you have is a zero turn and you want to take care of leaves in the spring and the fall in your yard, this beats the heck out of using a rake, I'll tell you that. Now, if you forget what I said in this video, head on over to goodworkstractors.com. We have complete listing, details, pictures, descriptions, all that kind of stuff right in there. You see the pricing, of course, too. Free shipping to 36 states right to your door, UPS ground, brown cardboard box, okay? So if you think maybe this is a tool for you or you're not sure, again, watch that Dethatcher versus landscape rake video as well. Or if you're searching for something else for your tractor, I mean, pallet forks, snow pushers, rototillers, flail mowers, the list goes on and on. We sell and ship that stuff all over the country every day of the week. And on that note, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to stop by. And until next time, stay safe. We'll see you soon.